Okay, so it's the first week in June, and we're going to take a quick look at the garden. So, our tomatoes are on the outside here, all looking good. We have some little baby fruit forming. So this is our aroma here. Got a few right there. And some little flowers on some of the other guys. Those ones aren't too developed, but I did notice just now we have some flowers up in there for these little guys here. I think these are the cherry type. Oh, there it is. I knew I saw one. So there's some actual fruits forming right there. So that's either a Juliet or a Sweet 100 cherry. So anyway, tomatoes are looking good. And then we have our volunteer tomatoes, which are almost some of them are the size of some of my little smaller tomatoes. Lots of great volunteers. Marigold, lots of tomatillos, more marigolds. So I finally cleaned the bed out just this morning. Got these stuff. So these are all the scallop onions that I pulled out, and they still have their flowers on them. And actually, see, there's a bee right down there, still working on them. So anyway, I just pulled all those out. They're still. I wasn't sure exactly what to do with them because I've just been trying to do this as experiment to see what happens with the things, but they are still good. They're probably not going to be too much good if I don't, or too much good for much longer if I don't get them out of the sun. But anyway, they are huge, so I can cut the flowers off and then use this stuff for green onion, just a really, really large green onion. So anyway, oh, and here's some of the roots that was on these, just tremendous. So anyway, pull those out. I did leave the carrot. It's so funny. But that's what that is. That's a carrot. It looks like a wildflower, which I don't remember the name of, but that's what this structure reminds me of. And so those little clusters are all over. And so I'm guessing it's going to produce little flowers and then produce the seeds. So I'm just going to leave it for now. But basically I've got this set up, watered in, and we're going to put some squash and beans and whatnot in here. So we have our eggplant here. All looking good. They do have some of them have some holes, but other than that, all right. All of our peppers look good. We'll come back to that in a minute. So our tomatillos and tomatoes on the back look good. Our volunteer tomatoes looking fantastic. So I might attempt to transplant some of these bigger ones into this bed over here. We'll see if I get around to it or if it works. But they're just so many and such good size. I mean, this one here is really the size of some of those ones in the back there. So we'll see. Our asparagus is looking good and ferny. All the things have finally now put up some stalks, so we're happy about that. It's looking nice and wispy here. Just need to now get in here and put up something so that they can stay up and not be leaning over the thing there. So, the new things that the updates here is that I finally moved some seedlings out that have been there way too long. So we have some basil here, 4 basil plants, 4 Thai basil, or 4 plantings of Thai basil. There's multiple plants. Some different, these are all the same variety carrots. These were from the seedlings that I had. They hadn't really grown much in the past few weeks, and I just never had took the time to transplant them, so they're finally here. Then we have 3 more basil over there. So this is peppers, basil, and carrots is what's in here. I'm going to plant some corn in there in the next couple days, some okra there, and some beans and squash. And I'm not sure what else in there right now. So the last thing is our spring garden. So I took the spinach out. I showed you last week that it was gone to seed, bolting. I forgot to take it out, and the one in front here was probably 4.5 feet tall. So they were all just gone, and I pulled them out. I pulled some of the chard out. They really didn't do very well either with the bolting thing. The carrots there look great. I didn't really check too close. I think they still have a little bit to go before they're ready. The little new scallions here are okay. The kale's doing good. Kale is really impervious to a lot of these problems. Usually the only problem we have with it is aphids, and so it's looking good. And the peas have finally started to produce. What's interesting about this is last week, so this variety of peas here were about the same height as they are now. Those ones in the back have grown 6 to 12 inches. I distinctly remember because I was measuring them to see maybe about making a smaller trellis, because I had used these 8-foot trellises that I had for something else here. But I thought, well, you know, I really don't need an 8-foot trellis for peas that only grow 3 feet. So these were about 3 feet, those were 4, and now those are about 4.5, almost 5. So crazy. So to recap here, all these ones in the back, these are all sugar snap peas, and we can see them right here. And these ones, so being sugar snap, you can eat the pea and the pod. It's all real sweet. And I just grabbed a few of those just to try. These ones here, only about, not too many plants, just this little first maybe foot here is the Oregon snow pea. I got a good size harvest of those. Wasn't too many plants, and so not a huge harvest, but you know, that's the thing with peas, you got to have a lot. And then all the rest of those are just a regular old, I think it's a Sugar Daddy, just a regular garden sweet pea. So those will take a little longer to develop because we're going to, you know, be eating the actual peas inside, where these ones are just the pods. So these ones are okay to pick right now. So it looks like it'll probably be another week or so for the sugar snap peas. And so you can see the kale in there, chard in there is looking good. There's those few carrots that survived are okay over there. That chard's looking not too great. And then the stuff that's behind is really kind of buried because now this has grown into such a wedge. I planted too many pea seeds, and so it's kind of made a big mess there. But anyway, live and learn. Once again, so there's more marigolds, volunteers, way better than the seeds that I've started, as always. So might try and transplant some of these in the boxes here, especially this guy. This is like awesome. That's just how it goes sometimes. The volunteers are way better than what you grow yourself. Anyhow, so this is it. So we got some peas finally. Spinach didn't work out. Chard's probably not going to work out. We'll see. Kale's looking good. We'll probably be able to get some carrots and beets the next couple weeks. And excited to see some tomatoes starting to form. It'll probably be a little bit before we actually get to eating of those, but that's what we got here. So the last thing we're going to do is plant the rest of the seeds. So squash and beans, okra, and then a bunch of different beans in the back, pole beans and stuff. So we'll get to that so that we can climb up there. And then it'll finally be done with the planting for the season. And that's it for now. Thanks.